right, so this is North on Intervale, a series that explores culturally relevant topics and ideas and the impact that they have on the students in our community today. My name is Benjamin North, and today we'll be discussing sport, the importance of staying active, and the connection between sports and activism. I am joined today by Yusafo Kone. Yusafo is a 12th grade student at Pharos Academy who has a passion for design and sport. He plays basketball, football, and soccer. Yusafo, thank you for being here. I am also really excited to introduce our guest for today's segment, Matt Peart. Matt was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and immigrated to the United States at the age of 4 and settled in the South Bronx. Matt played football for the University of Connecticut, where he was named a first-team All-American, and currently plays in the NFL for the New York Giants. Matt, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. All right, so first, Matt, we're going to talk a little bit about yourself. You moved from Jamaica to the Bronx when you were just 4 years old. Were you an active child? I read that you played soccer in Jamaica, and then when you got to the Bronx, fields were scarce, so you turned to basketball. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Growing up, especially in Jamaica, I was very active. Always running up and down the yard. I mean, it was, Jamaica is like such a the culture is so rich that like kids just always go outside and play, even in the rain. It's always just a fun time. And then moving to America is a little bit different. First time seeing snow for the first time, but not as many open fields as we had back in Jamaica. So that's why I turned to basketball primarily. So I had very, very big hoop dreams of making it to the NBA. But yeah, definitely turned to basketball as soon as I got to America. Got to. Patrick Ewing was my idol, because fellow Jamaican guy. You know who Patrick Ewing is by any chance?
Of course. Yusafo, how are you?
No.
Oh, we gotta. Next time I see you, we're gonna pull up some Patrick Ewing.
I got you. He played for the Knicks. He was one of the great New York Knicks, hands down. And I always try to, say, I'm gonna be the next human, the next guy from Jamaica to do it big for the Knicks, So that was where I went to.
That's so sweet. Thank you for sharing that, Matt. Yusafo, I'm curious about your experience as well. Have you been more interested in basketball because of like access to courts versus, the lack of fields, like soccer fields? Can you tell us a little bit about your sports experience here in the Bronx?
Well, yeah, I grew up playing soccer, and like my whole family used to play soccer and stuff. I used to go to my cousin's house, and there was a open field. We used to play soccer all the time. But then I see my brothers playing basketball, and it got me interested and stuff. And it makes me want to go and play ball with them too. You know what I'm saying? Being with my sibling, gets me I don't know how to say this, but being with my sibling, I want to create a bond with my siblings and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Create a bond with each other.
Yeah, I feel you on that. My cousin, and I remember when I came to America, he was already here, and he was a big hooper. He was a point guard. I'm telling you, his crossover was meaning the AIs, in my opinion. Amount of times I fell because of that. So because of him, I remember I piggyback off of him, and I kind of used basketball as a way of immersing myself in American culture, because it was kind of hard. I mean, I had a thicker accent, easy. I could turn my accent on and off every once in a while, but it was like a means of just getting into the community.
Yeah. I know Yusafo, you got 2 or 3 brothers that you play with. You guys are when you're on the court together, they're a bunch of all-stars running around knowing where you're
yeah, basically.
Are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest? Okay.
The youngest is actually the tallest.
The tallest? That's like me. I'm the youngest and I'm the tallest.
Is that Lucini?
Yeah, Lou. He's 6'2".
Yeah.
Okay. Word.
Matt, I always when I think about these brothers, right, Yusafo and Lucini and MK, I always feel like they could be football players too. I just feel like there's so much access to basketball courts that we don't even know what they're capable of with football. To me, they all look like wide receivers in the making, just based off their physical appearance.
Mm.
But I've never seen them play football. I've only ever seen them play basketball. So I really want to see them on the football field.
You'd be surprised how many football players start out playing basketball and always chase the hoop dream, and then that first time they put on the pads, they're just realizing like, yo, this is it. Like this is what I want to do.
I want to ask you, about kids and being active, and just ask you just a really general question. Like, why is it important for kids to stay active? What advice would you have for kids in the Bronx to stay physically active?
It's very important for kids to stay active. Like you're young, you have the ability to move, you know what I mean? Because like as time goes on, you lose that ability. Like father time just takes that away from you. But, it's always good for kids to get out there and play. I think kids in the Bronx just needs to find time just to really, really grab a friend, go out to the park, go out to play some hoops, or just go for a little walk here and there. Easier said than done, because when I was a kid, especially because like we moved from Eastchester to Parkchester, some different neighborhood to different neighborhood. It's kind of hard to make friends at times, but I used sport to make friends. Like I was a tall, lanky kid that didn't really know anyone on the block, but he could hoop, you know what I mean? So as soon as I walked around, they didn't really know my name, but like they knew that Matt could hoop, you know what I'm saying? So in my neighborhood, I was kind of well known for that. And it's just awesome. It brings the community together. It's just, you find new talents that you never really knew you had. I'm actually very thankful that I didn't sit in front of a TV. Like my brothers kind of told me not to do when I was younger and just kicked me out of the house and told me, go play. Some of my friends and I from the Bronx, so it's not based in the Bronx, but it's based in Harlem. They're actually revamping a Pop Warner team. It's called the East Harlem Jets, I believe. And, it's like a group of like 6 guys around my age that kind of came together and realized a lot of kids in the Bronx, or kids in the tri-state area, really don't know what football is like. So they went to the community center, and they're slowly revamping that Pop Warner team to compete against other local talent. And depending on what comes out for the local talent, they have the opportunity to go to Florida to play the Pop Warner teams over there too as well. So. Right. It's dope, but with more programs, more kids will come out. I just really wish that kids understood people understood how much talent comes out of the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And it first starts with kids just going outside and playing, in my opinion.
This is an issue that's like close to my heart and close to our school's heart, is like creating opportunities for our kids to move and to play. Yusafo, I'm curious about like your basketball experiences. Have those just been are you part of like clubs or organizations, or is it all like pickup games?
Well, it's kind of like both. Like I play right now, I play in the AU team, slow motion basketball, and we're having a lot of fun. I'm getting a lot of experience playing ball and a lot of times to improve my skills. This summer, I played football in the field, and I didn't even know I was that good.
Yeah.
Hey.
I can see it. I can see you being I told Matt, I see you being like a Percy Harmon type. Like you seem real quick, Yusafo. So I hope you get more experience playing football. Matt, I want to ask you about Governor's Academy in Massachusetts. How did you find yourself playing football?
So I got to Governor's through a program called the Oliver Scholars Program. I kind of took high achieving kids in the tri-state area and gave them access to these schools. But out of thousands of kids, they narrowed their numbers down to 51. And of that 51, I think only 23 of us got selected for these schools.
Yeah.
And then at Governor's, it's completely different of New York. There's a marsh next to our school, and the school, I don't know how many acres, but it was massive, patches of land everywhere. Mm-hmm. So for me, the access was there. Sophomore year, I remember I really wanted to really focus on basketball, because if you don't have a scholarship by sophomore and junior year and we get to senior year, not looking too hot. I was gonna take ballet in the fall to get flexible for basketball season in the winter, because we had seasons fall, winter, spring. And I remember I was chilling in the dining hall, and then the football coach at the time saw me. I was a tall, skinny, lanky kid. I'll show you a picture. I was really a toy. I was probably 200 pounds, maybe soaking wet. And he strongly convinced me. He was like, hey, I want you to play football. And I remember the athletic director was there. I said, yeah, let's do it. She switched me right over the next day. I'm in pads. Yeah. And it was actually a great experience. I had a lot more fun playing football than I ever did playing basketball. Overall, the camaraderie of the team, just the gameplay itself was just fun. At the time, I was a defensive end, not offensive tackle. I was a defensive end, not offensive tackle, so I was more in love with the defensive side of everything. Yeah. And then I got my first scholarship my junior year for SUNY Albany, and they actually wanted me to play offensive tackle. And then my senior year at high school, I played offensive tackle, and then UConn offered me, and then I ended up at UConn playing offensive tackle. But it's really just because of the access that I had is the main reason why I was able to play football, and then panned out pretty well.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Matt. Yusafo, do you have aspirations to play past high school? Like, and what do you think you need to do, like, in order to get there?
In order for me to like keep playing basketball or football, any sports that I want, because I play all sports.
Yeah.
But in order for me to play, to go on and keep playing those sports, then I need to like, improve my skills. Like I need to get better at like, I need to work on my agility, I need to work on my timing, I need to work on my flexibility, and all those other things that I need in order to like, to feel like I'm ready for, to move on.
Dang, no one's half the battle for real. Like for me, I remember when I did get my first offer, I sat down with my coach and he was like, yo, the work is just beginning. And I remember literally like doing extra. I remember I woke up at 5:30, go get some weights, get some breakfast, go to class, at lunch, class lunch, and then right before, class lunch, school, then we had practice, and right after practice, more weights. So I was hitting the weights twice a day for like weeks, and I was like just going after it, working on those things like flexibility, all that. And like honestly, since you have that mindset already, where you gotta like what you need to do, honestly, that's half the battle. Now you just have to go up and do it. Like what you want to do, and like one thing I would really advise is like, so like you want to go to you want to play basketball, football, or you want to do everything? Because there's ability to do both, but it depends.
Honestly, I'm in the middle. Like I can't pick. I gotta see what
I got you. Sorry, my bad. I think I missed it. What position you play in football?
I play wide receiver.
Oh, receiver. Oh, what position you play in basketball?
I play the 3 or the 2.
The 3 or the 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, honestly, I'm no receiver expert. I'm an offensive tackle. I wish I could help you out at that end, but I mean, if you really think about it, they kind of go hand in hand. So if you're the 3, you got the ball in your hand, you got to break down some guy to cut through to make the hoop. You know what I'm saying? Same thing at receiver. Your release, same thing. Got to break them down, cut through, catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? So those skills coming hand in hand. Right now, if you're still in the phase of like limbo, pick between football and basketball, just know that like when you work one, you're technically working the other. You just got to find that love for which one you really want to, and you just got to go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
I think you're gonna be a receiver more than anything. I think you're gonna be a receiver.
So Yusafo, you got some words of wisdom and advice from NFL football.
As best as I can. Remember, I'm an offensive lineman, tell you how to play receiver now.
Sure. Okay.
Don't get it twisted though. If they put me out there, I got you. I can show you a little something. You know what I mean? I'm 317 pounds, but hey, I got that Jamaican blood in me. I can run a little bit.
All right, Matt. We'll bring you out to the Bronx to run some routes.
Don't worry, say less.
Yusafo, can you tell us a little bit about what PE was like during the pandemic and during school being remote?
Must have been crazy.
During the pandemic, well, we didn't have much to do because it's online and we can't be all that physical. And most people were like asleep or like not pay attention during the class because we were just watching some like NBA celebrity videos or like NFL celebrity biographies, and sometimes we'd be doing yoga. So it wasn't that active.
The World Health Organization found that like 80% of boys and girls between the age of 11 and 17 don't get the physical activity that they need. A lot of New York City-based students do not receive the full required amount of physical education. Outside of like the obvious like health benefits, why do you think PE is important for all students?
PE is very important. Like especially when I was going to school. Like I remember, PE used to be my favorite subject. I wasn't the best athlete, you know what I mean? But I was so competitive that I wanted to be the best athlete. I remember, I tried out for baseball. I had never played baseball a day in my life. Couldn't catch. They threw the ball up in the air and I went ducking the first time. I was like, oh, chill out, chill. You know what I mean? But I was just an ultimate competitor. You can ask my mom, I'm just super, super competitive when it comes to stuff like that. So, you know, in those classes, I could really like, you know, compete against the best of the best. Cause, you know, you're talking to a kid that was like, by the time I was like really skinny, really lanky, glasses, asthma, you know what I mean? I'm wheezing as everything going down the court, you know, but it was just a factor of like knowing that I get to compete against the kid that's like, that's the guy in baseball that everyone is hyping up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I remember the pacer test, like I remember I used to crush that every time just to like get after everyone. And I mean, it was just a pacer test, but to me, it was like everything, you know what I'm saying? Then when we got to play basketball, obviously, you know, I got to show my little 1-2 crossover, not like Steph, but I had a little gym, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I always say if I were to go to the league, my game will resemble something similar to, I'm being very realistic, Safa, so don't judge me by saying this. Being realistic, my game will be like a Bobby Portis type of guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some slick post work every once in a while, a little jump shot in the corner, you know what I'm saying? He gives you sneaky numbers, but he gives you production, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I feel like if that goes online, like Matt Peart compares himself to Bobby Portis, it's like, oh, chill. I'm not saying that at all. Don't get me wrong.
No, honestly, I'm basically like you because like anytime when there's PE, when it's not online, like in person, I used to be like very competitive. Like I used to want to be first place for everything. Like if I see someone who's bigger than me and stuff, I just want to, you know.
Of course, coming from. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel you on that. So yeah, PE was just fun. It was definitely fun, especially if like, you know, you had like 2 classes. Like I never liked social studies. I hated geography. And then right after that, I remember I'd have like ELA, so like 2 back-to-back like heavy courses, and then we had PE, and I was like, all right, cool. Time to wake up. Let's go. Go run up about. Have some fun.
Question for both of you guys, because Matt, I think you're getting there already. Like, do you guys feel like PE makes kids better students?
You go. I mean, for me, I just know it's like for kids, you just need to blow off that steam. You know, and oftentimes when you do blow off that steam, you're just more mentally focused throughout the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Also, like if you're going through something, blowing off some steam, clear your head, get it out. You know what I mean? Yeah, the rest of your day.
You saw how you did the way?
Yeah, I agree with him. Like PE is like another break time. You know, first you have lunch, and you know, lunch is like your first break time, and second break, PE is like a place where you can just relax, not just relax, but also be active. So the next class you get, you know, pay attention and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes everything smoother.
I felt really bad for our kids that were in person during the pandemic because they stayed in their classrooms the entire time during the day, so they never even got to move their bodies really. They were just like at their seats for like.
Yeah, it was really weird because my mom, she, like I said, she's a 3rd grade teacher. Yeah. And I remember she would like release the kids for PE, and I was like, so what do they do? And it was like, I mean, some of them go play the game, some of them might go outside, but it depends on what they have at the time. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Some kids really just sat there because their parents were like, you don't get up from this until school's done. So kids were just sitting there, and I was like, wow, this is like brutal. Crazy compared to what I used to do. I couldn't imagine doing that.
Matt, you brought up your mom. I actually want to ask you about your I read somewhere that like, was it your mom, your aunt, and your grandmother were like 3 of
my
your
teacher at one point? Yeah.
How was that?
I had my grandma in kindergarten. That was my first teacher when I came to America. Yeah. She was tough. I remember doing extra homework on the car ride back, extra homework in the morning to the car ride to school. Oh, geez. My grandma, and if you can't act up, because like my grandma lived with us. My mom lives with you know what I mean? Can't act up. Yeah. So my grandma was my kindergarten teacher. I did work. And then I had my aunt as my 1st grade teacher. Mm-hmm. I believe. And then my mom was my second grade teacher. And then in third grade, the lady that taught me third grade might as well have been family because she was so close to my mom like this as a teacher.
Yeah.
That, so I kind of just went through a whole family lineage. So that's why education was so important. So for me, school came first, then everything else. Because if you didn't handle your school, you couldn't do anything else. And I was like strong Jamaican culture, like, you know.
I know we see it all the time. Like I know in our school, like Gustavo, you got all your brothers and your sister, and they all go to the same school. I haven't taught you, unfortunately. But I have taught your brother and your sister, and I didn't realize it when I came to the South Bronx. But like, yeah, you guys are all like in the same school. Like I feel like after being here for a couple years now, like I just know this community and always seeing how like tight knit it is. It's really cool to see. Then you don't really get that everywhere. I'm blown away by how wonderful the people in the South Bronx have been to me and to each other. We only have really one more thing to talk about, and that is the voice of the athlete. So Matt, in recent years, athletes have been speaking out more and more. Do you feel it's important that athletes use their platform to speak to social and political issues?
Most definitely. You want to change the world, change it through sport. So having the platform that we have, knowing that people, you know, truly love sport, watch sport, we should definitely use our voices to speak up. You know, speaking up does cause change. You know, and when you see people that look like us speaking up, it kind of gives other people like, you know, the mindset of knowing that, the peace of mind, knowing that, you know, they're not the only ones going through the struggle. Like I said this all the time. I wasn't the most athletic kid. I was one of the smartest kids growing up. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that for me to make it to where I am right now, why shouldn't I use my voice? Because, you know, I'm a representation of my community. Like, you know, every kid in the South Bronx, every time I go back, it's just crazy to see, like, you know, there's so much of the struggles and the hoops that kids have to go through just to attain this small glimmer of success because of everything that's kind of like put against the stigma of people being in the South Bronx. Like the other day, I just found out that low-key rebranded the South Bronx and calling it Sobro. I've never heard, like, when I heard that, I was like, yo, no, it's the South Bronx. Leave the South Bronx to be in the South Bronx and let the community take care of itself. You know what I mean? And it's just like voices like that to like, that you're not alone, we got your back, and we're helping to seek change for the community, whether it be small, large, or if you see it in your face, if you don't see it in your face, like there's things getting in place, hopefully, to cause really impactful change. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I answered your question. I know I butchered it in the beginning, try to save it towards the end, but yeah, definitely got to use your voice because it's a platform. The platform is everything.
Yeah. Yusafo, when you hear athletes speaking up, like how does that make you feel?
It inspires me and stuff. Like when an athlete is speaking, like I know what they're gonna say is very inspirational and stuff, especially giving out a speech. But like he said, bro, like you need to like try not to give up on stuff. You need to keep working, and if you have a goal and you want to reach it, you gotta take it. You gotta get the mentality. Like if you want something, you gotta go get it. Gotta go run for it. You gotta beat it and everything.
Thanks. It ain't gonna be easy. No one says it's gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is about people from the South Bronx is that they so tough that it will come easy if they come together. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, that's one thing the South Bronx is South Bronx is not soft by any means. They will check you, look you in the eye, and make sure that you okay every single time. Like, that's what I did growing up. Like, you just knew you were gonna get checked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's just part of the culture. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a part of the culture that you grew up in. It just made you who you are. It made you tougher. You know what I'm saying? So I just really feel like the platform, it's like one thing to speak, but it's the next thing to do. You know, and like I said, just even if this is the smallest thing that will like impact like maybe 50 years from now, as long as you took that step, that to me just means like you're just doing so much. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll go miles and miles away. I truly love the South Bronx. I just genuinely want to see them do good. I don't want people calling it so, bro, because it sounds like Soho down in Manhattan. And nah, it's the South Bronx, all right?
Love that. Thanks, Matt. Like, Yeah, let's keep it at the South Bronx. It's a special place. Why change? Like, I don't understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So guys, I want to know like a couple of final questions for you. First, Yusafo, once again, thank you for doing this. What's something that you learned today?
Well, one thing I learned today is that if you want to get something, you got to reach, and no matter what position you are, no matter what people call you, no matter where you're from.
And Matt, as we conclude this talk, any final words for Yusafo and all of our other students that are going to watch this video?
Like I said, South Bronx is not a soft community. I truly believe that, everyone in the South Bronx has the ability to really go after and get what they truly, truly desire. And actually I talk to this about my girlfriend all the time. She still lives in the Bronx. And, her sister still goes out to school in the Bronx, everything, you know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy because it's like, I've had this conversation so many times that there's so much like pride and so much culture in the Bronx that people don't really know. It's always branded as like the dirtiest borough, but there's so much love and so much history there that's like, every time I talk about it, I get real emotional. And that kind of makes me want to do more. Like I gotta do a better part of doing more. And like, I do plan on doing more, and I'm not speaking on deaf words. I do plan on doing more and just having more of an impact, just to show that the community that like there's love there. Yeah. But yeah, words of wisdom: keep working, keep going after what you want, and yeah, man, it's all love. Together we rise. Most definitely, together we rise. And Safa, I know we're recording. After recording is done, I'll give you my number. Hit me up. Anything you need, advice. You know what I'm saying? I always say this to my close friends that I'll take a bullet for. If I don't get back to you ASAP, I will hit you back as soon as I can for sure. But now, most definitely, let's keep in contact. And, if you can, shoot, come out to the game. Maybe you choose football. Maybe you become more of a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Next all season when we can link up, we can do the whole thing. Because like I said, my girl still lives in the Bronx, so I'll be over there all the time. But most definitely, let's keep in contact. I'm dying to know. LeBron, Jordan, or Kobe? Who you got?
Honestly, I got LeBron.
LeBron?
Yeah.
The new kids, these young kids.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool. I respect it.
LeBron did more than Kobe, I'm trying to say.
LeBron did more than Kobe. Okay. All right. Okay. Based on the stories and the books that I've been reading, I changed my order. It'll go MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Before I was diehard Kobe, like Mamba mentality, go get it.
Where do you have Ewing on your list?
You're talking about all time now. Come on now, like you're talking about all time. Like Ewing's still in my top 5, but you gotta give respect where respect's due. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Matt. I'll hit you up on Instagram.
Of course.
You should come out to the Bronx and run routes with you.
Hey, I'll pull to the Bronx and pull to the court if that's what you want to do.
All right, we got it.
Don't worry, this is not the ending of our relationship. All right.
We got a brand new.
Like I said, I'm a competitor. Don't get it wrong. I still got the.
Yeah.
Not like Steph, but it's still there. That's what I would say.
All right. So after football season, you're gonna come out.
Yeah, after football season, most definitely, we'll definitely link up for sure, 100%.
I'm gonna be emailing Ethan in January, February.
I got you. Oh yeah. Before we log out, can you stop the recording so I give him my number? I don't want to put this on the video.